India, home of 1.3 billion people, is a confluence of religions, traditions and customs. A thriving global center of technology and the world's largest democracy. As one of the oldest civilizations in the world with a rich cultural heritage and diversity, and as the fifth largest economy in the world, India is proud to assume the presidency of G20. As the country blooms into a new era, we look to another poignant symbol for humanity to emerge victorious from its challenges. Lotus, the national flower of India, representing our culture, history and heritage. A poignant symbol for humanity to emerge victorious from its challenges. And the inspiration for India's G20 logo design. The design, rendered in saffron, white, green and blue, is drawn from the national flag of India. The 7 petals in the logo signify the 7 seas and the coming together of 7 continents at G20 India 2023. Sitting above the lotus is a representation of the earth, reflecting India's pro-planet approach to life and seeing the world as one family. From this, we derive the theme for G20 India 2023, Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, one earth, one family, one future. A theme that brings the G20's focus on shared global growth, while being in harmony with nature. G20 India 2023. One earth, one family, one future. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. India, home of 1.3 billion people, is a confluence of religions, traditions and customs. A thriving global center of technology and the world's largest democracy. As one of the oldest civilizations in the world with a rich cultural heritage and diversity, and as the 5th largest economy in the world, India is proud to assume the presidency of. The design, rendered in saffron, white, green and blue, is drawn from the national flag of India. The 7 petals in the logo signify the 7 seas and the coming together of 7 continents at G20 India 2023. Sitting above the lotus is a representation of the earth, reflecting India's pro-planet approach to life and seeing the world as one family. From this, we derive the theme for G20 India 2023, Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, one earth, one family, one future. A theme that brings the G20's focus on shared global growth, while being in harmony with nature. G20 India 2023. One earth, one family, one future. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. India, home of 1.3 billion people, is a confluence of religions, traditions, and customs. A thriving global center of technology and the world's largest democracy. As one of the oldest civilizations in the world with a rich cultural heritage and diversity, and as the fifth largest economy in the world, India is proud to assume the presidency of G20. As the country blooms into a new era, we look to another poignant symbol for humanity to emerge victorious from its challenges. Lotus, the national flower of India, representing our culture, history, and heritage. A poignant symbol for humanity to emerge victorious from its challenges. And the inspiration for India's G20 logo design. The design, rendered in saffron, white, green, and blue, is drawn from the national flag of India. The 7 petals in the logo signify the 7 seas and the coming together of 7 continents at G20 India 2023. Sitting above the lotus is a representation of the earth, reflecting India's pro-planet approach to life and seeing the world as one family. From this, we derive the theme for G20 India 2023, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one earth, one family, one future. A theme that brings the G20's focus on shared global growth, while being in harmony with nature. G20 a thriving global center of technology and the world's largest democracy.
A warm afternoon to one and
As
all.
one of the
I am
oldest...
Shivani Kenny, PhD scholar from BITS Pilani KK Billa Goa campus. I welcome all of you to the second event of today's day, which is G20 University Connect, Engaging Young Minds. Coming together is the beginning. Staying together is progress. And working together is success. Our meeting here today is the first step towards success and towards a bigger vision of one earth, one globe, one family, one future. Before we begin with today's events, I request everyone to kindly put your phone on silent so that we don't get distracted or disturb others. Today we have a series of lectures by our keynote speakers, a quiz, open discussion, and special address by Dr. Chari. With that, I would like to invite dignitaries on the days, Professor Suman Kundu, Dr. Sheshadri Chari, Professor Venkat Rao, and Professor Savita Kerkar. Light it. Yes, la. Yes. Thank you, everyone. To honor our prominent speakers for today, we would like to present a small token of appreciation. Our gift hampers today are by Go1 organization. Go1 is a women-led organization which supports sustainable farming and harvesting practices to make healthy product and lifestyle. I request Professor Suman Kundu to present gift hampers and shawl to Dr. Sheshadri Chari. To Dr. Venkat Rao. To Dr. Savita Kerkar. And I request Professor Rajiv to give gift hamper and shawl to Professor Suman Kundu. Thank you, Dr. Rajiv. Before starting with interactive events for today, I request Dr. Suman Kundu, Director of BITS Pilani, KK Billa Goa campus, to address our gathering.
Well, a very good afternoon to you all the dignitaries on stage, Dr. from RIS and Dr. Ramesh from NIO, all my faculty colleagues, I can see many of you here, students who came across various colleges of Goa, teachers also, I believe, from Goa colleges. I welcome you all to BITS Pilani KK Billa Goa campus. It's a great pleasure to see a full house here today for this very important and significant event under the aegis of G20. We all know that India has the G20 presidency for this year, where all the G20 countries are assembled at various time points throughout the year across various cities in India to deliberate how things are across the globe, our future prospects, and how do we go on into the next year next decade, and so on. And this is a very important year for us as a country because we are celebrating 75 years of independence. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, which you all know about. And I'm very happy to see young faces here. As you see, the theme of today's event is engaging young minds. So very happy to see young faces here. Probably you can smile. Seeing smiling faces is more encouraging for us. Keep smiling is very important, biologically and otherwise as well. You maintain a very good health, if you keep smiling. So you should smile all the time. And you are too young to worry about anything as of yet and not to smile. So welcome you all. We have a very interesting event today. We want to engage young minds, and we have special lectures by Dr. Chari. We will have remarks and comments by Dr. Rao and Dr. Savita Kerkar. And most importantly, which young minds always enjoy, a quiz competition, an interactive quiz competition will be organized here and conducted by Dr. Ramesh and Dr. Rajiv Chaturvedi. So I hope you'll enjoy. And the theme is also very important, climate change. We had a brainstorming session, which we call Y20 for youth in the morning. And we have learned, we have got a great insight about how climate and climate change is going to affect us as citizens of the country in the state of Goa and all across globally. And we, at least one theme, one summary, one bottom line that we got is we are all connected. And that's why you see the tagline for G20 is One Earth, right? One Earth, one family. And it was very evident in the morning session, and as you go forward, it will be more and more evident that whatever happens anywhere in this world affects everything else. We are all connected now, climate especially. So it's very important to engage in those directions, and I hope that all schools, colleges, and as BITS, as an university, we should bring this up in classrooms. It should start very early, discussions on climate. And we should have courses at BITS Pilani. We have taken a step forward. Data science is very popular among students, but we also need them to be aware of climate changes and its impact on our lives. So this year, we are going to initiate a new program, data science on climate and health. So it's very important, can make a lot of impact because all the young minds are in the universities and colleges. And I hope together, it's one earth. So we have to work together, shoulder to shoulder. We can mitigate the problems that, climate change is causing, havoc in our lives. You all know that. And hopefully, we will engage all of you, and you will be part of this journey. And India as a country is developing very fast. And I would say we are already the world leaders, the way things are going. And there will be great opportunities in the coming years, on all fronts. We are talking about climate, but on all fronts. And you will be leading us as young minds, into that glory. We were leaders, at one point of time, and I think we are ready to reclaim that world leadership, yet again. And I look forward to you all to helping us with that and leading us into that glory. Welcome everyone, and hopefully you'll all enjoy the sessions and the events today. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kundu, for your kind words. I request dignitaries to kindly get seated in the front row.
Please see that everybody moves to the last row. I said they'll keep coming. Put what either. GHI, I bit okay. That's okay. Let's get the start. They will just go and say, yeah, we can start. can start with this because it will take time for
All the students gathered here for testing their knowledge. We will now begin with interactive quiz competition on the theme of climate change and India's G20 presidency. I hope all of you all have instructions and quiz agenda with you all. If you do not have, kindly ask our volunteers. I hand over the stage to our quiz masters, Dr. M.R. Ramesh Kumar, retired chief scientist from NIO and expert on climate dynamics, and Dr. Rajiv Kumar Chaturvedi, associate professor at BITS Pilani KK Birla Goa campus and climate change expert. I hand over the stage to them.
Please open the PPT.
PPT, okay. F5 more, F5.
Thank you very much. We are already a bit late, so we will not be delaying this and we will be very quick with the quiz competition. And so we have several teams. The team names are listed and these teams are participating in this quiz competition. Nasla, she will be standing like wherever she will be standing, which means that the question is for that
Particular team only.
that particular team. So every student will get only one chance to answer a question, and one team, every question is directed to individual team. Just members of that team or that row can answer that question, and whoever raises the hand first,
Yeah, please raise your hand if you want to answer.
and they will get the chance to answer. If you answer wrong, then the question is gone. Probably the question will go to the audience. And then the next question will begin. Okay? Yeah. So we have our first question for team A. Oh, it's not working.
Yeah, it will work, it will come. Yeah, it is
No
come.
pass. So
Yes.
next
Okay,
question.
I'll go to the next question. Okay. Team B. Team B. We'll just go to the team B. Audience we won't give. Team B. Which part of the atmosphere will find the maximum amount of ozone? Okay. You can stand and answer it. Huh? Answer is wrong. Okay. In the same group, you can ask at what height above the mean sea level it will be found. Only team B. If anybody from the team B wants to try this. Huh? No. I want a specific thing. Okay. No, this one. You can start with the third question.
Third question is,
No. The thing is actually, if you keep on answering. Oh, okay, I can answer. It's
third
actually-
question,
I will answer the.
we don't have time.
No, I will answer the second question, sir. Yeah. No, I will answer the second question, sir. No, I agree.
Okay, for them. Audience.
We can start from the first question. You can answer. You can give the answer. Yeah. Start with the first question.
So the answer is 3,704 kilometers. 3,000, not 4,000. So
Okay, the second
yeah,
question I will answer.
second, yeah.
Just show the second question. It's actually stratosphere. Okay, and the height is actually from 25 to 30 kilometers. Okay, not any number. Don't say you are talking so much.
Third question for team C. What is the name of the first Ramsar site in Goa? Yes, that's absolutely correct answer.
Right from the name, yeah.
And
Give a big round of applause.
here is the answer. We got our first winner. We were looking
Yeah,
for.
give her a big round of applause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Is it not going?
It's not going.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the Nanda Lake. Yeah. Next.
Yeah, that is for the team D. Please identify this person in the picture. Team D, anybody wants to try? Team D, fast. You have only 30 seconds. Don't take the entire day. Okay, you can ask the next question. Which is the highest prize he has received? Only to team D. Anybody wants to try? Okay, should we give to the audience?
Audience.
I will give to the audience. Anybody wants to try? Only audience, no participants. Audience, anybody wants to try? Excellent. So, give him a big
Nasla,
Just we will give that towards the end. I'll leave
Yeah.
everything. Abhi hai to price hai to.
book is,
I can use this. I can use this.
yeah. Next question. Climate change is already happening in Goa. As per government of Goa's state action plan on climate change, how much warming has taken place already in Goa in 100 years? Anyone who has read? Yeah,
It's a
she is
team
standing
E,
there.
Team E, Team E.
Team E, she is standing there. Anyone? How much Goa has warmed in the last 100 years as per government of Goa data? Quick. Take a guess. How
Actually,
much?
in the morning it was shown. Anyway.
How much? Huh? No,
Oh, yes.
15. No,
Okay,
no, it's
okay,
wrong.
okay.
It's absolutely wrong.
Okay.
So the answer is here. Answer is here.
Okay, answer is here.
Only 1 degree centigrade.
Only 1 degree centigrade.
15 is too much.
I want you to absorb the answers also, please, because that was the purpose.
The whole, yeah.
Not only rush with the question.
Yeah.
Please absorb the answer. It's very important to you to know. And
Yeah, sure.
next quiz competition you have to win, right?
Sure.
So, we have to please note this if you want to put this in your young minds. You'll remember everything.
Okay, next question is actually to Team F. This is actually purely regarding Goa. There's actually a phenomena which has happened in Goa recently, and I want to name the phenomena. I want to name the weather phenomena. Ponda Nago, Sheroda and Kepe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Anyone from this place?
Yeah, there will be a lot of people from Sheroda Astale. Now we can go to G.
yes, go G, huh? So next question is begins for G. What is the forest area in terms of total geographic percentage of total geographic area of Goa? How much percentage of total geographic area of Goa is forest? Yes,
She's trying. Let her try.
but still people are not getting.
60%.
Yes,
it?
perfect.
Perfect.
60%. Yes, very good, perfect.
Very good. Give her a big round of applause and just write the name. Okay?
Yes.
Now I'll go to the
So did you know it or you took a guess? Very good.
excellent. This is the answer. Okay.
This is the answer.
Okay. Now I am coming to. There is actually to Team H. This is a very important thing and a very simple question. I personally feel. So to Team H, in 30 seconds, can you try? I want to name. There's actually a movie which is made. Anybody wants to make an attempt?
Anyone who has X-ray eyes can see through that blue.
Yeah. Sir, that's a good one. I like that. I only scratch. Nobody wants to try? Anybody from the audience wants to try? Not you. Ali, you have already got one prize. Ali is actually into it. So anybody else from the audience wants to try?
Sir, B
Fast.
Question B also.
No. Yeah. Question B from H, because first I
Don't know the first.
Yeah. Question B also, anybody wants to try? Who is the main actor of the movie? Anybody wants to give a
You should let them play
Yeah.
dumb charades,
Dumb,
right?
yeah.
Hindi, English, how many words?
It is a very simple answer. It's inconvenient truth. An inconvenient truth by Al Gore is the main actor. Okay? So nobody gets. Maybe I will take the prize. Next one.
Next question. For which? Nasla, go. Yeah. Next question, where Nasla is standing for that row. Okay. What is the rank of India among the G20 nations in terms of the size of its economy? Fourth biggest, fifth biggest, third biggest, first. What is the rank of India among the G20 nations in terms of
This
the
possibility
G20?
you should say, yeah.
Yeah, it is simple.
Fourth.
No, it's not fourth, but very close to that actually.
Yeah. But we cannot give a prize.
Very close is third and fifth. Which one to pick?
So,
They know they are
No. No passing of the questions.
yeah,
No passing
so
of the
India
questions.
is the fifth biggest economy in the world. Since all the biggest economies are part of G20 anyway, so it is here also it is fifth.
Okay. Excellent. Sir.
But it was very close.
Yeah, but we can. Yeah, we'll start with A again. Those who answered the previous questions, they don't get a chance again. I'm repeating again, or tried. So again coming back to Goa. Can you name this famous environmentalist from Goa? First. This you must say. All from Goa only, no? Team A. Those who tried earlier, please do, you are not getting an opportunity.
Please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fast, Sangre. Okay, to the audience. Okay. Sabida gets another prize. So Ali and Sabida, please keep that in mind. Okay. Very simple. You are coming to a climate change quiz and you don't know. Dr. Rajendra Kerkar, one of the very famous, and he writes regularly in Times of India on sacred cows. You name anything, all environmental things, including Save Tiger, you name anything, every time he writes. He's a brilliant guy. He has done a lot of research on so many things. Excellent writer, a great, yeah, we have to give, or else we will forget. No, we will get.
Please remember, we are going to repeat.
No. Okay.
It's okay. No. Does not matter. So, morning we have been talking about heat waves, etc. So, which team? It is actually to Team C. This year, we had actually a heat wave-like condition over Goa, and it started in the month of February onwards. Can you tell me what is a heat wave? A very simple and straightforward question. If you are in a climate change scenario, actually February is supposed to be actually a winter season, but this year, 2023, the heats, or let us say, you started feeling the heat, let me put it that way. And this is actually a picture prepared by Dr. Shivananda Pai actually from the IMD. It shows actually an increasing trend of heat waves.
What is the question?
Yeah. What is heat wave? Very simple, straightforward question.
Say what is heat wave?
Heat wave, fast.
How do you define heat wave? That's it.
Team number C. Team C. Nobody wants. Anybody from audience want to try? Those who got the prizes won't be allowed. Okay. I give that marks to her. Please write down her name. Excellent. Give her a big round of applause.
Perfect.
Simran, please write down her name.
Okay, again my question about G20. Okay, Nasla, for which group? Team number D. Na? Yeah, again look at this. As part of India's G20 presidency, India has proposed, India is saying that we need to get one more member into this group. The name that proposed member.
By India.
So India has done a very significant work in that regard. It is regarded as the international
name
level.
the country. Name the
Country or the geography.
Geography also.
It may not be a country.
Fast. 30 seconds only, 30 seconds.
We are giving you so many clues.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No. Okay, yeah, yes, okay, does not matter, sir, does not matter.
Yeah.
Anybody from the audience wants to try?
Yeah, he has he wants to try, yeah. Yeah, you can give. Oh my God.
No.
You guys have no idea.
This girl. Huh? Kuwait, she said.
Yeah, huh?
Kuwait, she said.
No. It is African Union. Actually, India has proposed that African Union be taken as the 21st member of the G20 bloc. This is a very significant strategic move that India has moved, and it is getting very good traction among the international community. This you must know.
Now I will add on to what Dr. Rajiv sir said, because nobody bothers about Africa, especially in the climate change scenario. Whether in good old days they were actually taken as actually slave, physical slave. Now it's actually economic slavery. Anyway, I won't go into those details. Yeah.
Someone said Andaman and Nicobar, right? Part of India?
Okay, sir, does not matter. Now I will ask a very simple question. If you look at the clouds, all the time you may be watching ODI or T20, you may be knowing a lot of cricket players. I just wanted to identify a cloud which actually gives
Nasla, which group?
all thunderstorms and hail. So which team it is?
Team E.
Team E. Anybody wants? Those who got the prizes, please keep quiet. Anybody wants to try? Just fast. 30 seconds only. Only from Team E. Nobody else. If nobody from Team E, this gentleman wants to try.
Yeah. Let him try.
Huh? Yeah, correct.
Correct answer.
Give him a big round of applause. Excellent. Just write down his name, Simran.
Very nice.
Excellent. The answer is cumulonimbus cloud. It's actually a vertically developing cloud. Okay, from surface it can go up to the troposphere, 16 kilometers in height. There you can actually, it crosses above the freezing level. If you cut a hailstone, you will get actually concentric circles of ice and water. Like an onion, you get concentric circles of ice and water. So if you cut, so it's actually lot of turbulence takes place over the cloud. And usually you see mostly in the monsoon season, you get thunder, lightning, blah, blah. Anyway,
next question is for Team F. Team F, please be ready. This is again a policy question related to Goa state and Western Ghats in general. From Gujarat all the way to Kerala.
Very simple question. I would say it's a very simple question.
Cutting across 6 states, just name like one committee name. Yeah.
Anybody wants to try?
No, let them first try. Otherwise, question will pass.
We'll pass on to Sharanya.
No.
Somebody wants to try? अरे question is इधर डाला है.
Don't talk so much. Please answer. 30 seconds are passing. Huh?
We will ask Sharanya.
No. Sir, other students we can ask.
Okay. Any student?
Perfect.
Excellent. Give her a big round of applause.
Absolutely amazing answer.
Excellent. Very good, very good.
The very first committee in 2014 that has submitted this report was Madhav Gadigal committee, and then Kasturi Rangan committee has come, and now again one more committee which is headed by Sanjay Kumar is already working on that in this issue. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I hope all of you might have heard about greenhouse gas and such things. So what is the chemical formula? It's actually for G now. Okay? The team G. Anybody wants to try what is the chemical formula of nitrous oxide? Fast.
Very simple question.
Very simple and straightforward. Greenhouse gases nahi suna? Anyway, does not matter if anybody wants to try. If nobody wants to try,
Like in this group, anyone?
no, this group only. Then, yeah, this guy wants to try.
NOC.
No, wrong. Now that in the middle. You answer. Yeah. Not NO2. Yeah. Yeah, here. This girl. Yeah, N2O is the correct answer. N2 answer. Just take down her name. Simran, just take down her name. The next question is actually, what is the lifetime of actually nitrous oxide? The same group. With the G only I will continue. What is the lifetime of nitrous oxide in the atmosphere? Because each of the gases, greenhouse gas is actually different this one. For the same group, G, anybody wants to try? What is the lifetime? Think again. You are giving another opportunity to you. Team number G.
Then we
If,
pass this to him. Yeah.
Okay, we'll take from that boy.
121 years.
Huh?
121 years.
Okay, it is 120. I will give the marks. Give him a big round of applause.
Perfect.
And each of the greenhouse gases actually have what we call a global warming potential. Again to the team G. There's a global warming potential for each of the greenhouse gases. So some, like say perfluoro, this one actually, and maybe so many gases. So fast. Anybody from this G wants to try? Or maybe I will ask the audience. Yeah. No, sir. No. No, I just want a number, my dear.
But she's answering correct. Actually, she has the concept.
No, but I want the number, sir. I want the number.
Number maybe. Concept is correct, sir. Number may not be required. Yeah.
Okay, if all of you
she
say,
gets the prize, I think.
Yeah,
It's
give
a
her
very
a,
nice
this one.
concept.
Give her a big round of applause.
Yeah.
Yeah, the actual number is actually 130 years. 130.
No. The global warming potential.
There's a global warming potential.
Watt per meter square. The year was earlier.
No, here also the answer. 121, one gentleman said.
And the warming potential.
It's actually 130. Global warming potential.
Oh, watt per meter square.
Yeah. No, not watt per. This actually, anyway, that's not matter.
Okay. Yeah.
Next question.
So next question for where Naslad is standing.
Yeah.
So be ready. It's a very small question. What is Anthropocene?
No, from that group.
What is the meaning of anthropo and scene?
Team H. Yeah. You didn't get any prize, no? Or just answer, because those who got the prizes, please keep quiet. Everybody should get a chance to answer.
Sir.
It's human-centered view.
Yes, Miss.
Yeah.
is half right. Maybe somebody else wanted to say something regarding.
Yeah, I think
so
we'll give her, yeah.
Anthropocene means the age of humans. She's right.
Yeah. Give her a big round of applause.
So anthro means human.
Nowadays, we had actually recently heard about COP27, which was held actually in Egypt in a place called Cairo. Prior to that, we had actually COP8. It was held actually in India. I want the year and the name. If you answer both only, I'll give the prize.
Yeah, this question is for Team A, na?
Team A again. Those who got prizes, please quiet. I have given also a good clue to you. Enough clues are given. It is in India also, I have said. And there is also a stamp. By the way, I'm a philatelic stamp collector also. Philately is there, so I collect stamps and I wanted to put, it's actually production of so many things you can see, especially from mangroves point of view. I hope, by the way, all of you know what is COP, by the way.
Place is Goa and the year is 2023.
Sorry, both the answers are wrong. Anyway, I will give it to the audience. Anybody from audience want, okay, this boy, you have not got any prizes, no? Okay, just try and answer fast. You can answer directly. New Delhi is correct. Year? Correct. Both the answers are correct.
That
Give
is
them a big
amazing.
round of applause.
That is
It is
amazing.
New Delhi and the year is 2002.
Oh,
Excellent,
yeah.
excellent. Brilliant.
Okay. So the next question. Next question is for Team B. We are nearing completion of our quiz round, so please be patient with us. For Team B, next question. Which year National Green Tribunal Act was enacted? Meaning, which year National Green Tribunal came into effect? This is very important from
Yeah.
the environmental perspective, especially
30
from
seconds
India.
only, 30 seconds. Don't take the whole day.
People accuse India that India is not doing enough on
Exact.
environment.
Very true, very true.
However, India is the only country except New Zealand and Australia which has such a body, legal body, which is very important. Sir is also there with us from legal
Legal point of view.
fraternity. Kindly answer this question.
30 seconds, I think time is
Which
getting...
year? Just tell me the name of the year or approximate 1 or 2 year we will relax.
Plus or
problem.
minus, plus or minus 1, 2 is allowed. No, nobody wants to try from...
No,
okay.
nobody-
Yeah, you got already, no, so she can try.
Yes, exactly. Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect
give her a
answer.
big round of applause.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
Just write down her
It's a
name.
perfect answer. 200 and not
Yeah.
even slightly
Yeah.
different. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah.
Again, I am coming back to Goa. And I am quite, because I am a meteorologist by profession, okay? So I look at various weather phenomena. This is actually a weather phenomena which occurred. I want the name of the phenomena and I want the name of the beach. Because if all of you are from Goa only, no? So this is actually to team C, no? Nesla?
Yes, sir.
Team C. Fast. 30 seconds are getting over in no time. It's a very famous beach in Goa. I want the name of the weather phenomena. There is enough clue in the picture. Beach is correct. I want the weather phenomena. Okay, I think we can give her a prize for the color boat. Just write down her name.
Yeah.
I want
She
the weather.
wins.
Anybody wants to try for the weather phenomena? Anybody from any students want to try?
She wants to try, yeah. You speak.
Yeah, you already got a prize, my dear. Only one person,
she
that's one, no.
speak.
You can only answer once. Let others also get a chance.
But-
Anybody wants to try?
But if nobody wants to try, she can speak still. I think she won't get a prize for that.
Yeah, there is one person. Huh? Yeah, basically it's a torrential rains. Okay, I don't mind giving, it's not actually snow, it's actually torrential rains. Anyway, I don't want to give anything to, yeah. Only Kalangut we will give. Kalangut we can give. Storms is, okay.
Okay, the next question. The next question is from TD, and keeping sir's presence in mind, I have again made it a legal question. But very interesting question. It may be a bit difficult, but it's very important question. Okay, please be ready for the question. How much a tree is worth? What is the cost of a tree? Supreme Court of India. Perfect. Perfect. That is perfect answer. So, why I say perfect? Because that is exactly 74,500 rupees. multiplied by the age of the tree. So suppose you are cutting a tree which is just planted, its price is 74,500. But if a tree that is 1,000 year old, you are cutting that tree, then the price is 7 crore so much. It will be very prohibitive. And this is a very smart way of working. I think this has not been implemented yet, but at some point, I think this has a lot of scientific basis. It will be implemented. I really congratulate the student who has answered this. They must have seen it. So thank you very much.
So again, I am going to another weather phenomena. Okay, that is actually to team, which team? Yeah, you got the prize, my dear. Please keep quiet. Those who, yeah, let this boy answer. Huh? No, chance only in that group first. Yeah. You already got one chance? Oh, then no. Those who got the prizes cannot answer.
Forest fires.
Yeah, that's right. So give her a big round of applause.
Oh my God.
And write down her name. I also wanted to know which place it has occurred. Sir is actually an expert on that forest fires. He has been working on forestry, has been showing so many slides in the morning. Okay?
Yeah.
So I want the name of a place where the forest fires have occurred. Mole means okay, or I would anyway.
Occurred all the way.
Whole way. Okay. Okay, so we only one name. So that's good enough. Good enough for me.
Yeah.
I saved this one. Okay, next.
Okay, so again, since sir has started a question on.
Yeah, actually it is a forest fire. We want to say Bondla, Madhe, so many places, as you correctly said.
So the forest
Bondla
fire
and all these
started
forests
from
are actually
Satari,
affected.
from
Sir has actually got the
Mahadei.
details.
Then it is spread all across, including Molem. What she said
Molem,
is
she said is also correct.
It's not
Most
completely
of the
incorrect.
Bondla Wildlife Sanctuary, so many places it has happened.
Simran, are you keeping account on the?
Yeah.
Yes.
How many are over still?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
enough now.
since sir has started a question on the forest, then I am eager to ask a question again on the forest. It's a very simple question. This question is for which group? Yes. So where Nasla is standing with her mic. So please, this is a very simple question. I expect you to answer this. In Goa, we have multiple wildlife sanctuaries. Goa is a very fortunate state that almost entire Western Ghat in Goa is wildlife sanctuary, which is a very good thing, which is a great thing actually. So the lowest one, what is the name of this?
Kotigaon.
Yes, the lowest one. Perfect answer, yes.
Give her a big round of applause.
I'm sorry for the formatting issue. Some formatting issue has happened. We have made it. So the arrow was not, but still you correctly answered.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So we'll go to G now.
Yeah.
Team G, which is a good place. Whole day we have been talking actually about climate change, etc. So to Team G I will ask, which is a good place to study? Those who answered or tried or attempted, they won't get a chance again. Others can actually just try. Only to Team G. Anybody wants to try? Which is a good place to study climate change? Next question is, why? Anybody wants to try? Try kar go. Kityak. No, I think you have already tried. You have tried earlier? No. Okay, we'll ask that girl.
Yeah, we can ask next lecture.
Antarctica is correct. Why it is Antarctica? That is the next question you should answer. No, that is not the answer which I was looking not for. Exactly. So you can write down her name as well as her name. Both the names. Because we feel that humans are responsible for the climate change. And in Antarctica, we have only researchers which are going there. Okay? Excellent answer for both. Because Antarctica is not because of some people say glacier, some people say ice, temperature. Kuch nahi hai. Basically, it is because there is hardly any population and it is one of the pure, let us say a test lab or whatever. Savita will answer all those things. Anyway.
No, but
It's okay, sir, no problem.
it's okay, sir. I think.
But that's the observation.
That's also. Yeah,
Okay. This is also a very, very simple and to which team? It's a very, very famous quote. We have been actually listening to so many quotes. So I thought, why not to listen to this? It's actually a very famous quote. We are the first generation to feel the impact of climate change and the last generation that can do something about it. Very famous quote. Then in the same group only? Yeah. You got already prize, my dear. No? Okay, okay, fine, fine. Okay. Barack Obama is correct. Give her a big round of applause. Yes, excellent answer. That's the answer which I was looking for. In fact, I wanted to confuse you with giving so many answers, but anyway, it does not matter.
So here is the confusion.
Yeah, I wanted to give so many names, so that's to confuse you. Anyway, it does not matter. We'll go to the next question. Well done, well done.
No, next question, Mike. Okay.
Oh, you missed the group? You can ask, you can
I
ask.
have no more questions.
Okay, okay. Okay, I will ask a few more questions. So I will go to that group. This is also a very, very famous institution which has started in Goa on 1st of January 1966. Fast, 30 seconds. Time is only to team H, no? Anybody wants to try fast? Kaun try karna go? This is a sad thing. No, I won't give any option. This is a Goa question. I'm not asking from the, wait. Let this 30 seconds are over, then I'll come. No, you already got a chance. Those who didn't get chances, you already got a prize, my dear. I will ask this boy who didn't get a, Yeah. Give him a big round of applause. So these are the answers which I have given, including I have put bits also. Is it?
Very close.
Sir, I am your this one, no, this one. So host in, yeah. This is actually to, this is again to the same team?
Yeah, team A.
Team A. So,
Yeah, she.
yeah. Those who got the prizes, you answered any question? No, before you, Antarctica, correct. Okay, that I think you can write down her name. Simran. Is it already over? Okay, you can just write down her name. And then before that, I wanted to see whether we have prizes and mementos or else. I don't want to disappoint the students. Hena. Okay, you can just write down her name. Which day, every year, just like your Friendship Day, Father's Day, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, etc. One particular day is actually celebrated as actually World Ozone Day. This is only for this group only. Only to this group. If anybody from Team A wants to participate. No. Only to this group. I will come to you. If anybody does not come, why you got prizes? So please keep quiet. Maybe we'll ask this gentleman. Huh? Yeah. Give him a big round of applause. So the answer is actually 16th of September every year. Okay? And third is a very, since we are actually into an institution, technical institution or technological institution, I want to know what is the unit of actually ozone. That's actually again only to this group. I will ask to this team A only, what is the unit of actually, how ozone or in what units it's measured? Yeah. Yeah, answer, there you go. Yeah, correct. Give her a big round of applause. Excellent. Still here? No. Yeah, I think we will continue. We'll give the pen again and again. Now I'll go to the audience. Now I'll go to the audience. Anybody from audience? You got a prize already? No.
Sweden.
Yeah, right. Give her a big round of applause. She's from Sweden, okay? She also wrote actually a book. Again, to which team it was? Team B only, no? Team B. She also recently wrote a book, very famous book. Fast. Only to Team B. Anybody wants to try from the audience?
The climate book.
Right. Give her a big round of applause. Directly related, it's called the climate book. Since I'm a meteorologist, I thought, why not ask a question about World Meteorological Day, okay, to Team C. Which day is celebrated as actually the World Meteorological Day? Fast, anybody from Team C? I've given enough options also for you. Not to you, only to Team C. Yeah, you got already prize? Okay. Excellent. Give her a big round of applause. World Meteorological Day is celebrated every year on 23rd of March. On 22nd of March, we have actually World Water Day. Anyway, we won't go into those details. Also, I hope all of you read newspapers, okay? Whether the Government Times or maybe Times of India or maybe now Tarun Bharat or maybe Herald or whatever, Navin Times, etc. So this particular year, in fact, the morning, the whole day, Dr. Rajiv Kumar Chaturvedi ji Saab and a lot of people were talking. This year or previous years, we have been talking so many years. So in the past 76 years, this is actually to team D, no? Okay, this is the last question to team D. Then we'll put a full stop. Very important question. Huh? Okay, so we have one more after this. Fast, fast. This is a 30-second question. You already got a prize, no? So please keep quiet. I will take back the prize. I'll put it that way. If anybody answers twice, he or she will be. Huh? Correct. Excellent. Give her a big round of applause. Over? Okay, okay. Done. So let us both of you thank for a kind this one. Patience and listening, and give a big round of applause to all the participants. Forget about prizes, etc. But I would say, I hope all of you have enjoyed the quiz.
What, 9? Yeah, but it's not visible there, no? Thank you, students, and thank you our quiz masters, Dr. Rajiv Chaturvedi and Dr. M.R. Ramesh Kumar, for a very knowledgeable quiz session. Our guest today, Dr. Sheshadri Chari, wears multiple hats. He is a public policy expert. Along with, he is one of the chairpersons of Governing Council of RIS, Research and Information System for Developing Countries, New Delhi. RIS is an autonomous think tank of Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India. He is also the chairperson of China Study Center, MAHE Manipal. I request Dr. Chari to kindly address today's gathering. Thank you, sir.
Professor Savita ji, other faculty members, my colleague Syed Ali from the RIS, and friends. This, after the quiz contest, I am in two minds about the lecture that I am supposed to deliver. It's very difficult to actually speak in front of an audience which is so enlightened, so intelligent, and practically could answer some of those questions which me and my colleague were really wondering what could be the answer. So I thought if I am going to speak to students from the science stream, it should be a little easier, but I don't think it's going to be so easy for me. And especially I have Professor Pradhan here, who is quite an expert on international relations and geopolitics. So, and then we had a very fruitful session in the morning on climate change and risk management and so many other subjects. which were very enlightening, in fact. So much so that I have suggested that all the lectures and presentations that were made in the morning should be brought out in a book form, not just a report but a book. So it was so good. In fact, these were all the what suggestions that these things make. Now this is not the only university which we are visiting. The University Connect which you see, Engaging Young Minds, G20 University Connect, was the idea that was suggested to us by the Prime Minister. So Honorable Prime Minister suggested that when India became member of the president of G20, usually G20, what happens is these 20 countries, heads of these 20 countries, it's a G to G. So government to government. So some people from that country, the head of the government, they all come together, they discuss something and go away. But when India became the president, the Prime Minister decided that we will not limit ourselves only to what you call speaking. We will not limit it only to the governments coming together. What we should be doing actually is make this whole idea of G20 a mass movement and carry forward the message of G20 to the next generation or next few generations, and also involve so many other countries. So we did three very good things. One is take the G20 message to the people. As Winston Churchill said, tell it to people. So take it to the people, A. B, sensitize all the members of the G20 and others also about the issues that are facing the country, the world today. So what we did, G20 means obviously there are only 20 countries, and then we had a quiz now to add one more, not a country, but African Union as member of G20. Now, Africa is a continent with the maximum number of countries. Africa has, as of today, got something like 54 countries. Very incidentally, which was the last country that was added to Africa? I'm not, yeah, wonderful. Who was that? Oh, great. I was representing United Nations in South Sudan when it had not become a country. It was still one country, two governments, government of North Sudan and government of South Sudan. I was posted in South Sudan, and United Nations representatives were persona non grata in the north. In diplomacy, persona non grata means you are not recognized as an individual at all. So you cannot enter that country. So we were not even allowed to enter North Sudan, Khartoum, the capital. So we were stationed in the capital of South Sudan. That time it was Juba. Even now it's of course Juba. So we were supposed to make the constitution and all those things. We did a lot of things, of course. I'm not going to those details. It was quite a different place to work. It was security level 6, they call. So security level 6 means security level 5 is no evacuation. Security level 4 is evacuation within 3 minutes. So security level 6 is no retrieval of dead bodies. So you can imagine how situation must have been. But then of course in 2010 it became an independent country. So that was the last country added to Africa. So many countries are there, but these countries have not yet been represented adequately in any of the international forums. So the Prime Minister decided that as a special gesture towards Africa and to improve our relations with African countries, we should include African Union as a member of G20. Thereby, we will be adding 54 countries to G20. So this was the idea. So this University Connect, this is the 69th University Connect event. We are supposed to hold as many as 76, because 76th year of independence. So the Prime Minister suggested that we should go to 76 universities. But looking at the response, at our end, RIS, Research and Information System, we decided that we will do 76. Till September we have to do 76. But we decided that we will go beyond 76. We will go to 100 universities. Because G20 will be over in September. September we will hold a seminar, and India's presidency will be over by September. October, of course, we will continue to be the president, and November we will hand over presidency to the next country. It's very again very interesting. We took over the presidency of G20 from Indonesia. We will be giving it to Brazil, and Brazil will be giving it to South Africa. So now see, India, Brazil, South Africa. These three countries again have another forum called IBSA, IBSA. IBSA is like a parallel organization of BRICS. BRICS has got 2 extra countries, that is Russia and China. But IBSA is very important because IBSA spans 3 continents, and all the 3 countries of IBSA are democracies. The other 2 countries in BRICS are not democracies. So IBSA has more meaning. Making economic progress in a democracy is even more difficult than making economic progress under an autocracy, and that too a hegemonic autocracy. So that is the idea. So the next 3 years of G20 will be equally important for India and the world, because we not only connected G20 with the rest of the people, we not only wanted to connect G20 with universities, we not only wanted to connect G20 with the future generation, but we did one more important thing. As president of G20, what India did was to bring the focus of G20 back to a very important aspect that the world is facing, that is sustainable development. We all know about MDG, Millennium Development Goals. When Millennium Development Goals were decided, who did it? It was mainly the G7. They all came together and they said world is going to face a lot of problems, so we should know what to develop. So they hurriedly put together 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points, and they said the world should work towards Millennium Development Goals. No consultation was done. But nothing happened. No targets were met. Then the United Nations, UNCTAD and other bodies, they started thinking, where did we go wrong? Why it did not succeed? Then they decided that we will have to have a larger consultancy. So then huge amount of consultancies were made, and in 2015, all the countries participated and came up with what we call the SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. There are 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So we have to develop, we have to have a sustainable development. So far what we have done, what we saw in the climate problem is unsustainable growth. So we should have sustainable development, and this idea of SDG has now been interlinked with G20. So what India is now suggesting to IPSA countries, that is we are part of IPSA. So India, Brazil, South Africa, we three will work for sustainable development goals and implement SDGs through G20 programs. So we come back to this issue of climate change, mitigation of climate change, and all this through SDG programs. And how to implement SDG programs? Because unless we have a sustainable growth, unless we have a collective growth, it cannot be called an economic growth. Because if you see the history, say past 150, 200 years, countries were considered, are measured as a strong country. We say what we call superpower. We say America is a superpower. So there can be only one superpower at a time, because at the apex it's only one. So we say that US is the superpower. So what constitutes the strength of a country? Long back, about 200 years back, 150, 200 years back, the colonies were considered to be the strong power, like Great Britain. That's why they say Great Britain. It's not just Britain, it is Great Britain. Strong country. Why? Because they had the maximum geography in the world. They were very powerful. They had colonies, they had countries, and they could exploit as many countries as possible. They used to always say that sun never sets on Her Majesty's kingdom, because they had so many countries in the world under them, under the British Queen, that in some country or the other it will always be sunrise. So that vast kingdom they had. Dr. Radhakrishnan used to make a comment on this. He used to say even the sun doesn't trust the British government. That's why it never sets. So that is what they used to say. So vast. But today what is the situation of Great Britain? It is the 6th largest economy, one step behind India. And the way things are going, it may probably become 7th or 8th or 10th also. That is the situation today. So geography, holding on to more geography, more area, more countries, more colonies, does not give you the status of great country, superpower, strong country. No. Colony, geography is no longer the criteria to determine whether you are the great country or a big country or a strong country. Because the Second World War proved decisively that what you need is the military power, a strong army, so that you can defeat any other country in the world by sheer armed forces. You should be fighting fit, and you should be able to subjugate your enemies by virtue of your strength, your military strength. So more powerful you are, the more military you have. Even now we say USA is a very strong power, superpower. The army of USA, Army, Navy, Air Force all put together is very strong. Very incidentally, USA has a very interesting organization called DARPA, which thinks 50 years ahead of time. They are now experimenting with making bullets out of ice, so that if you were to fight a war in Antarctica, you can take the ice, convert it into a bullet and fire. So this is the kind of experiments they are doing, whatever it is. So the greater the army, the powerful you are. That is what they decided. So if you see after Second World War, they could drop nuclear bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They destroyed Japan. Japan was militarily very strong at that time. They conducted a raid in Pearl Harbor and destroyed the US ship. So they were very strong. So army was determining, and even now they say that how army is powerful? Army is powerful only when US is probably the only country which can deploy its armed forces anywhere in the world at the shortest possible time. Even China and Russia cannot do, India cannot do, but US can do it. So this was the strength. So this went on, and the world order was decided by US from 1945 to a very long time. The First World War ended, it gave place to Second World War. The Second World War ended, then the Third War, which was called the Cold War, started. Cold War also ended 1990-91 with the disintegration of USSR, because US considered USSR as a strong enemy, because USSR also had both these elements. One, geography, because Russia, when it became Soviet Union, and USSR, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, it had all these countries under it. So Russia's geographical control over areas was vast. So if you see the old map of USSR, you can see a huge land mass was under Russia. And militarily also it was strong. It was the only country which could challenge the US. But in 90, all this ended. Disintegration of USSR, Russia was reduced to a small place, and its army was no longer considered to be very powerful. So the world virtually, instead of a bipolar world, it became a unipolar world. So people accepted that US is the only country in the world which is very strong. So there is only one pole, that is unipolar, around which the world will revolve. But things changed immediately. Gradually, what happened? Neither geography nor army was determinant of your strength. After the 90s, and then throughout the early part of 2000, even the US faced huge economic problems. There was a huge banking failure in 1999, 98, 99. Then 2008, bank failure, 2008, 2009. So what happened was, economy, your power as far as your economy is concerned, became the determinants of your strength. And that is where the US was challenged by another country which did not play a very major role in the UN, in the global affairs till about 90. That was China. So the rise of China gave a decisive edge to these factors which were determining the strength of a country. So today what is happening is, the contest between strong powers is based on your economic strength. So today the contest between two powers is 15 trillion and 25 trillion. China 15 trillion economy, US 25 trillion economy. So if any other country is able to come up to 16 trillion, that beats China. And if any other country is able to come up to 25 trillion economy, that beats US. So what is going to determine the strength of a country is going to be economy. And if economy is the strong point which you have, automatically you have the first two also with you. So more countries align with you. They become your allies. And some of the countries become your partners. partners in whatever you do, partners in crime also. Like exploitation of Africa. The British did it, the Americans did it, the Chinese also are doing it now. So if exploitation is a crime, then if you align with China, you are also partner of that crime. So India decided that we cannot keep on looking at the world only from these parameters. We have to look at the world from a very different parameter. And to look at the world from a very different parameter, we have to think of so many other factors also. For example, why these countries could develop. If you take the example of US, for example, one of the factors that determined their development was not only economy or trade, but also great strides that they could make as far as technology is concerned. Britain did it 150 years ago by virtue of technology, which was called Industrial Revolution. So we call it Industrial Revolution 1.0. Now we are in the phase of Industrial Revolution 4.0. So we missed 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. But they could do only because they had huge potential and capability as far as industrialization is concerned. So technological innovations were made there. By virtue of those technological innovations, they could do so many things like mass production, mass trading, greater profit, lesser cost. All these things they could do. Then Russia started thinking on the same lines. So they said we should also progress as far as technology is concerned. Remember, as far as technology is concerned, Russia was the first country to send an unmanned vehicle into the space. Russia was the first country which put a dog in the spacecraft and sent it to the space. Russia was the first country to send a human being into the space.
Woman also. First woman also.
First woman also. So that is the kind of technology which Russia had developed. It's only after emulating Russia, copying Russia, that the US also started thinking in those terms, but then they made great strides very fast. Because they could invest more money, they could think of all these things. And then they engaged Russia on a different keel. They created what they call the arms race, which reduced Russia, which forced Russia to invest more in arms and less in human development. And then unrest and so many things, then perestroika, glasnost. We will not go into those because they are all subjects that pertain to geopolitics and international relations. So we won't go into those details, and you all are aware of all these things. But this is essentially what the US also did. So development and the strength of the nation depends not only on the geography that you hold, that is past, on the military strength, that is limited, on economic development, but that can also go wrong. So science and technology, developments in science and technology became a very important aspect of the national growth. So now what happened, these G7 countries and the powerful countries of the West, in economic terms what we call the North, North versus South, divide, we know. So they decided that now we are very powerful, so we have to form a club where other countries should not enter. So no competition. If you all, you must have, most of you, you must have traveled in Bombay. I spent a lot of years in Mumbai. Now it is Mumbai. When I was spending time there, it was still Bombay. So in Mumbai there are local trains. You must have seen the local trains, and you must have also experienced the crowd in local trains. They say you don't have to exert as far as getting into local train is concerned. You have to just stand. You will be pushed inside. You should only remember which station you have to get down. And then when you have to get down, you have to come into the middle of that compartment. You will be pushed out. And if your office is near the railway station, you will be pushed to such an extent that you can jump directly into the office also. Okay, you go to the office. And you can have another change of clothes in the office. You can look decent. So that is what they say. So in local trains there is a syndrome. It's called Mumbai local train syndrome. That is what the Western countries did. Train will be very crowded. There won't be place even to put your foot in the train. So somebody will keep running and then they will catch, and then the people inside the compartment will say, "Arey, there is no place here. कोई जगह नहीं है, जागा नहीं, दिसत नहीं का, काही वेडा है का? पाठीमागे आणखीन एक गाडी." Sorry, Marathi, some of you must be knowing, right? There is another train coming, they will say. But still this man will persist, and somehow or the other he will get into the train. The moment he gets into the train leaves, everybody will accommodate. And somehow we will also get place. That's the funniest part. Now next station, he will say the same thing to the man standing in the footpath, in the compartment, in the platform. He will say, "There is no place, jaga nahi hai, disat nahi ka." The same treatment he was given. So the countries of the north, the G7 countries, they did all these things. They thought that other countries, developing countries, are also coming up. They gave different names to these countries. First they said third world. So those countries which are developing or underdeveloped are third world countries. First world is the developed world. Second world is those countries which really want to come up. And those who are condemned below this developing countries are third world countries. That is the term they used. Then gradually it was decided that it's a very bad word, so no third word. Then developed countries and developing countries. Now there is a new term, emerging economies. But very unfortunately what has happened is, when you say emerging economies and all that, suddenly you see that some of the developed countries are also coming under the category of emerging economies. So this whole north-south divide has gone topsy-turvy. There is no north and no south. What will you call Great Britain? Is it a developed country? It is the seventh largest economy. Seventh economy, you can't even say largest. So it is a developed country or a developing country. Now after 10 years, if somebody says Great Britain is a third world country, how will they like it? It may be third world also. We don't know. The P5 which they decided when United Nations became P5. So who determines what is P5 today? The powerful 5 countries. Now France. Is France such a big country? Is France such a big economy that does it matter to the world at all? It is nowhere near the US economy, it is nowhere near the Chinese economy, it is nowhere near the Indian economy also. But they decided how the world will be run. What will be the rules and regulations of the world, which is loosely in geopolitical terms called world order. We must have heard this word, world order. World order is not a structured order. World order is not an institutionalized format like the United Nations. It is not institutionalized. But everybody accepts that there is a world order and somebody is running it. That is the world order, they say. Now who decides what should be the world order? As of now, the US is deciding. So what they decided? They said, we are now developing, no other country should develop. So Russia, to some extent that time, China was not a great country as far as science and technology is concerned, but India was an important country. Because India's economic development was of course going side by side, but India's technological development was also taking place in a very big way. The first nuclear test, what we call the nuclear explosion for peaceful purposes, NEP, nuclear explosion for peaceful purposes. The first NEP was conducted by India in which year? 1974. And the second test, which was not an NEP, which was not nuclear explosion for peace, which was not a peaceful PNE, they call it, peaceful nuclear explosion. It was not PNE, it was a actual bomb which we exploded underground. If it had exploded above the ground, it would have been like another Hiroshima or Nagasaki. It's that powerful. So we could test to that kiloton in 1998. Incidentally, this year, 2023, is the 25th year of Pokhran 2. 25th year of Pokhran 2. Next year, 2024, will be the 50th year of Pokhran 1, 74. So it's going to be a very important year. We are in a very important year. 25 years and 50 years. Next year will be 50 years of Pokhran 1. And we also did monumental progress as far as missile technology is concerned. Russia developed Sputnik, America followed, but side by side we made great strides. We established what we call the ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, and then we had what we call the DRDO. Then we had former President of India, the Missile Man of India. So we could do lot of strides as far as missiles are concerned. In fact, the BrahMos, which I was mentioning in the morning also, its capability was more than 500 kg payload. And the distance that it could cover was more than 500 kilometers. The Americans knew this. So what they did one cheating. What they did was, these G7 countries which I told, they all came together, and in 1987 they formed a small committee and they made what we call a small organization called MTCR, Missile Technology Control Regime. But nobody would become member. Why would any other country become a member? So they themselves said that all those countries which are part of MTCR, Missile Technology Control Regime, will not transfer any missile technology to any other country without the permission of these 7 countries. And these 7 countries were controlled by America, which means ultimately without the permission of US, you cannot do any research in missile, especially what we call the delivery mechanisms. You can make a missile, but you won't be able to deliver it. What will you do? It's like making a bullet without a gun. You can have a bullet, but there is no gun. You can't throw a bullet and kill somebody like a knife. So you make a bullet, but we will see to it that you don't make a gun. So you can make a missile, but we will control the delivery mechanism of the missile. And especially they said that more than 500 kg payload and beyond 300 kilometers, because BrahMos was considered to be 300 kilometers. Even now the official 300 kilometers we are maintaining, but we have tested it to, simulation tests have proved that we can go beyond even 500 kilometers. So 83, 82, 83 we did the simulation test, I think, yeah. So we have proved to the world that we can do much better. And as far as BrahMos is concerned, the initial technology was 90-10. 90% of the technology was Russian and only 10% was ours. Today it is 70-30. 70% of the technology is Indian, only 30% is Russian. And even that will come down a little bit, maybe another 1 or 2 years, even that will come down, which means we will not only have one of the best missile in the world, we will have more than 500 kg payload, and we will also have a distance of more than 500 kilometers. And all this without getting any support from NTCR, without getting any support from the so-called developed world, without getting any support, any technology or science technology support from the so-called developing countries. This is what we did. So the developmental model of the West was based on 3 things. 1, exploit. 2, look at only the national interest. And 3rd, create a denial regime. You develop, but you deny those developmental tools to the others. You look at only your national interest. So all these climate change things which we are seeing today are the result of extreme industrialization of the West. If the West had decided 50 years back that we should develop, but we should not pollute the earth, because they depended on a waste-oriented economy. Whatever you do, if you are a rich country, how is your richness determined? You are a rich country if you have people whose purchasing power is greater. More you can purchase, the more money you have in your pocket, you will purchase more. The more you buy, the richer you are, because you buy if you want to consume, which means the more you consume, you are rich. And if you buy but you cannot consume, what do? You waste. You can eat only 2 rotis at a time, but you take 10 rotis on your plate. What happens? You eat 2 rotis and marginal propensity to consume in economics is over. After the 2nd roti, you cannot eat more. What you do with the rest of the 8 rotis? You waste. So, greater the purchasing power, greater the consumption, greater the waste. So, you create a waste-oriented economy, which alternatively means greater you produce, more you waste. And then when it comes to export it, you will not do it because it does not suit your trade policies to export the waste. Because when you want to export, you have to either reduce the price or give it free. But you already produced it. So how you cannot recover the production cost? In order to recover the production cost, you have to sell it at a premium, which the other person will not be able to buy because his purchasing capacity is lower than yours. So if you can pay $1 in US, you cannot pay 80 rupees in India. So you will have to sell it at 40 rupees in India. That means your profit will go down by 40 rupees, half a dollar. So all these were the considerations. So they created an economy which is waste oriented. India decided to give a new message. India said, you are not a very happy person if you eat more. What happens if you are unwell, you go to the doctor, what he says? Stop eating. So long back there was a very great economist, his name was Schumacher. He wrote a very interesting book. You should all read that book, Small is Beautiful. The title of the book is Small is Beautiful. In that there is a very interesting subject called Buddhist economy. If you remove the word Buddhist and say Hindu economy, it is the same. Ultimately the Indian thought process, Indian economy, where he says a happy person is not the one who consumes the most. The happy person is one who consumes the least. That is the economy of the East. He argues that. And then so many other kinds of arguments are there. There is a very interesting story. I have read it in Marathi, but that story must be there in so many other languages also. It seems one king was very unhappy, so he told his fellows, try and do something, get me a medicine which will make me happy. So they went and searched everybody. They asked, are you happy? Everybody, they went and house to house, they said, you are happy? Nobody said, no, we are not very happy. He said, somebody has a problem, somebody has a health problem, somebody's son or daughter has not got admission, NEET exam, no proper result, no admission in medicine, no admission in BITS Pilani. So many problems. Everybody had some problem or the other at home. So they came back and told the king that there is nobody happy in this whole country. So we can't do anything. So one saint came to the king. He said, look, your problem is you have to catch hold of a happy person and you wear the shirt that happy person is wearing. You take that shirt from him and you wear it and you will become happy. Now, which person will give his shirt to the king? So nobody was prepared. So everybody said, I am not happy. Finally, they found one person. He was sitting under the tree and they asked him, are you very happy? He said, yeah, I am happy. Very happy? He said, I am very, very happy. Why, what is the problem? He said, you have not heard about the king? I said, no. They thought probably that is why he is happy. Then he said, the king is very unhappy. He requires a shirt. So give me your shirt. This fellow started laughing and he rolled on the ground because he didn't have a shirt at all. So they say, Sukhi Mansacha Sadra. Sadra means shirt. So they say, Sukhi Mansacha Sadra. The shirt of a happy man. Because he doesn't have a shirt. Even though he doesn't have a shirt, he is happy. So happiness is not there in how much you buy. Happiness is not in consumption. Happiness is not in waste. Happiness is not in purchasing power. But the more you give, the more happiness you have. So you produce for the rest of the world. That is what we did during Corona. We came up with vaccine. We called it vaccine diplomacy. That was a good word that we coined. Now everybody is talking about vaccine diplomacy. Even United Nations Secretary General has said that India conducted extremely good vaccine generation, diplomacy. The American companies also prepared vaccine, but they said we will not give our technology to anybody. We will sell, but at an exorbitantly high price. Even some of the Americans could not afford that price. Finally they decided to buy from India. And Indian government of India said 50% we will use for our citizens, the rest of the 50% of the production we will give it. But we will give it free to those countries which require the vaccine maximum but which cannot pay. So we sent our vaccines free to so many other countries. This very recently you must have seen that Papua New Guinea president of that country touching the feet of Prime Minister Modi. He said only because of India our people were saved. If he had not given us vaccine free, all our population would have been dead by now. This is what we did. So we decided that this idea of thinking of the entire world as one family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, Ayam Nija Paroveti Gananam Lagu Chetasam Udara Charitanam tu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Ayam Nija Paroveti. That is what the West thinks. Me, myself, I am great. Everything is for me. I should be happy. let the others go to hell. That is not the attitude of an individual. Udara charitanam tu, those with a large heart, vasudhaiva kutumbakam, the whole world is one family. So if somebody is unhappy somewhere, everybody should feel the pinch of it. So distribute our happiness, share the unhappiness, share the problems, share the issues. So this is the idea that India decided to give it to the whole world under the banner of G20. So when we say G20 is important for India, G20 is important for the world, it is not just because we are the president of G20 and so many leaders of the world will come here. No, we are trying to give the world a new paradigm, a new outlook. And that new outlook is, let us all progress together. So we decided that we will not use the word aid. We are not an aid giving country or an aid receiving country. We said what we call, we will give assistance to other countries and call it developmental partnership. So if any country wants money for development, we will give that country, but not as a donation, not as an aid, but as developmental partnership assistance. So we will develop along with other countries, we will develop together, we will work together. This was the vast idea. It was a great noble idea that India wants to give as a message from the platform of G20. And this message also includes India's idea of sustainable development goals. So when you say we have to develop, we have to meet the sustainable development goals, we should remember three things. One, a problem somewhere affects you, like the climate change problem. It affects you. So when you think in terms of a solution to climate change, you should think of a solution which is applicable to the maximum places. A. B, it should be sustainable. And C, we should be able to replicate it. And also learn from the experiences of other countries. It is not that only India has got all great people under the sun and no other country has any intellectual. No. There could be some other country where they have thought of a much better experience, much better solution. So we can take that solution also. So we think in terms of all these things, and India decided to use G20 as a platform to showcase India's traditional thinking, age-old knowledge, and instill this idea that world is one universe, we have to grow together, and if you don't decide to grow together, we will all sink together. So let us be one world, this idea of one world, and that is why we say the idea of one earth, one family, one future. This is the idea that we propose through G20. So the Prime Minister's office wanted that this idea should go not only to these 20 countries, but much beyond, and people should take up this idea and implement it. That is the idea that we have been working on. So we celebrate this event as University Connect. As I said, there will be more universities which we will be doing. This is a 69th, correct? 69th university which we are doing. We will be doing 100 universities, but after those 100 universities also, what the RIS is planning is, in these 100 programs, we have met a number of scholars like all of you. So we want to bring all this scholarship together, the collective ideas that you all have, somewhere or the other, document those ideas, set up in such a manner, create a framework wherein each and every one of us will be able to implement these ideas in some manner or the other. So it's a work in progress. Once we have some ideas, we will come back to you, share it with you, discuss it with you, and maybe we will benefit the country will benefit out of such incidents. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for all the insights on the world and about India. Up next, we have two keynote speakers giving us information on climate change and global affairs. Our first speaker is Dr. Venkat Rao. Dr. Venkat Rao is currently the VC in charge of India International University for Legal and Education Research, Goa. He has previously served as the Vice Chancellor for National Law School of India, University Bangalore from 2009 to 2014. National Law School of India, University Bangalore is Premier Center of Legal Education. I request Dr. Rao to take over the stage. Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me assure you that I will not exceed my time limit of 10 minutes. Okay? Because to make my speech sustainable. Okay? Because my job has been made much easier with a comprehensive, holistic analysis by one and only Seshadri Charigar. It was one of the most brilliant exercises I've ever listened to. But it was preceded by a very luminous quiz program. And to speak to you after a luminous quiz program is like watching a TV program after Kaun Banega Crorepati. You don't feel like watching it. And then, like Demosthenes, Seshadri Charigar shared his erudition with us. But I would just pick up 2 points from his speech to inject a sense of humor first. He was speaking about Dr. Radhakrishnan's observation on British colonialism. Alvin Toffler in his book Power Shift says, the sun did not set in the British Empire maybe because he was afraid that he would also be colonized. Therefore, the sun always kept himself awake. Then the second point I would like to mention is about denial regime. Today in the Western world, there is a particular lobby which denies that there is a climate change, remember. It's a very effective lobby. Just as in case of tobacco products, there was a denial lobby, denying communications also. But this university G20 Connect program is brilliant, sir, because you are reaching to youngsters from whom we have borrowed this planet, remember. We are answerable to them. And this young connect reminds us we are not the first to be born, we are not the last to die. We have to hand over the baton in the relay race to them without allowing the baton to fall down. Therefore, the conceptualization of university connection is brilliant, and I congratulate the BITS for having taken the initiative in Goa and for making ULER a partner in this exercise, sir. My only appeal to you is this should be only a beginning of a greater symbiotic relationship to follow between these two institutions to make surroundings around us more safe and more secure. Now, be that as it may, when you speak about climate change, this is a very interesting euphemistic word that was invented again by Americans. A Republican politician in 1990s in the election campaign, he said global warming is a dangerous word. People are afraid of it. So, when the world is unpleasant, they have the knack of changing it into a pleasant word. For example, in the classroom, suppose a student is poor, we call them promising student, because poor student sounds very bad. And when the country is underdeveloped, they said it is developing country. This is called euphemism. And climate change is a euphemistic word for global warming. And this global warming has been, remember, the catastrophic consequence of two important things, out of which one was referred to by Sasha Richari Garu, consumption. The other one is combustion. Combustion and conjunction, the issue, consumption, this combination of these two things are responsible for what we call, or the United Nations Secretary General called just 3 days ago, not as global warming, but global boiling. This is the word he has used. In a conference 1 week ago, he has said, we have now entered the age of global boiling. So you must become a foot soldier. And this University Connect also inherently has in it a very important concept called civic environmentalism. Environment moving from the scientific labs and the academic institutions to your houses. Each one of you should become a foot soldier in saving the planet. Well, our leaders had the vision to say one earth, but they are also practical to say the earth is one, but the world is not. The world is divided. Therefore, the clarion call for you is to make the world one, so that we'll be having Vasudhaivika Kutumbikam. Because if you look at the month of July 2023, it was not only the month where Goa has recorded the highest rainfall, it was also the month where Europe had been boiling with a heat wave. Remember, after 1970s, you have the hottest summer in Europe. And unusual rains, not because of monsoon, but because of something else in atmosphere in 2023. This is a cascading impact of global warming. When that wonderful question was asked by my friend about Supreme Court's evaluation of a tree, 74.5 into the number of years. I was also reminded of a footnote in that report. Youngsters, please take note of this footnote. They said in that report, only when the last tree is cut, yes. Now this is a part of global warming. Yes. Now, only when the last tree is cut, only when the last river becomes dry, only when the last fish is caught, you will realize that money cannot buy everything. This was in that report. Now, this program has been arranged to sensitize you about these things, because most of us, we have entered the second innings of the 5-day test match. Remember, you are yet to play the first ball in an unlimited test match. And you are the soldiers of the 21st century. Therefore, I congratulate you, Sir Professor Kundu Saab, for having given a clarion call to the youngsters by speaking about the role of the G20 University. I have only one point else to make, because our young India aspires to find its feet in a world of normalcy. And they can find their feet in a world of normalcy only when the old order fulfills its promises to set the house in order. Remember, we have a pious obligation to set the house in order. And events like this would enable us to do that. Because look, in July 2023, I'm quoting from the paper, you had 48 degrees Celsius in Arizona. You had 52 degrees Celsius in Xinjiang. Somebody was saying 10 to 15%. And our honorable director was saying we will be burning. It is okay. Okay. 1 degree, 1.5 degree is itself, remember, unbearable for us. and then 66 degrees Celsius in Iran. Now, can the Mother Earth withstand it? I'll just make a simple proposal before because you have gone through all the details of G20, its agenda, sustain. Environment is where we live. Development is what we do. Young minds think, can we allow what we do to destroy where we live? And is Mother Earth a business in liquidation? Please remember that. Mother Earth has given already overdraft to us. Look, when your father sends 100 rupees to you for pocket money, if you keep withdrawing it, and in the first week itself we exhaust it, we would say you have no fiscal discipline, you are a financial bankrupt. Agree? But when we withdraw relentlessly, incessantly from Mother Earth, you call it development. What double standards we are following it? The entire crusade of India's presidency at G20, where it says, look at the plight of Mother Earth, and look at the concept of one family and one future. Remember, are we living in a post-nature world? Is my grandson going to ask me a question, how does a little sparrow look like? Because when he finds a sparrow in the airport, he plays with it. He is not able to find. Where does the truth lie? The earth will deny us the facility of overdraft very soon if we continue to use Mother Earth as ATM without any discipline. Please remember that. This is the message that we have in the G20 program. Therefore, wake up before it is too late. Extend your helping hand to the crusade of the government of India to make Mother Earth safe. Okay? This is only what I wanted to share with you, because the beautiful booklet you have prepared, the extraordinary speech of Seshadishar, and the wonderful quiz program, remember, have made my task much easier. My only appeal to the director of this wonderful institute is, sir, please give us more opportunities to have a greater symbiotic relationship with your institution. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being here.
Thank you very much, Professor Venkat Rao, for giving us your insights about the world, about climate change. Now, I would like to call upon Professor Savita Kerkar to address our gathering. Professor Savita Kerkar is currently a professor and Dean of School of Biological Sciences and Biotechnology in Goa University. She has received multiple awards for her contribution to biology and biodiversity, including Lifetime Achievement Award in Science and Goa State Board Diversity Conservation Award. Dr. Savita Kerkar has also engraved her name on prominent Indians by becoming the first Indian woman to represent India on the third Indian Arctic expedition as a research scientist in 2009. I hand over the stage to Dr. Savita Kerkar.
Thank you very much for my introduction, and I'm very grateful to be here and invited by Professor Kundu. It's nice to see so many young minds here. So I am with young minds, which keeps me very young as well. And I think you're the future of our planet, and everyone should be responsible to save our planet. I think whatever we have now. So I start with, I read a paper recently, and this was on AMOC, A-M-O-C, which means Atlantic meridional overturning circulation. So, I mean, this is physical oceanography, of course, it's not my subject. I'm here as a microbiologist, which is very different from all the geopolitics and the politics which we have heard about G20. But I want to save the planet in some way, and this is the message I want to give all the students. So, microorganisms in our planet are the most sensitive organisms which detoxify whatever humans have done to destroy this planet. And AMOC, what I was talking about, is a circulation where, I mean, this was a paper which was published on the 26th of July, recently, this year, and it was from a University of Copenhagen, where they say that the circulation of the currents in the ocean is going to stop by 2050 in the Atlantic. And this is going to have a terrible impact on the currents of our sea. And since it influences the tropics, in the tropics we have the hot air which comes up and goes through the Gulf Stream to the North Pole. And this is going to stop completely. So we'll have a freezing of the European countries, and we'll have a warming of the tropical countries. So if we don't act now, I think we've already caused 100% of the destruction of the oceans and the earth by dumping waste in the oceans, using oceans as a dustbin, and also been very greedy about our terrestrial environment. And there is a limit to how much we can do. And we have a lot of natural long-term shifts in temperature and weather patterns. Now, the natural calamities are, of course, the change in the sun's activity or the volcanic eruptions, but the artificial things are done by humans. And we have almost destroyed this planet because of our greediness, by not being concerned about the environment around us. And we've been burning fossil fuels, coal, oil, gas, and what happy moment in my life that I could make it there. Because all my colleagues used to tell me, don't go, it's very dangerous, don't go. But I said, I have to go. And it's very sad to see the complete pattern melting. It gives me a lot of pain even now. But the second time, the happiness which I had was to see a polar bear. And I saw a polar bear because the Arctic was melting. So they're rampant everywhere because they have no place to go. And the ice is so much, I mean, almost about 30% of melting has increased in the 10 years. And the first shocking thing which I saw was a glacier breaking. And it almost cracked. And I didn't know, I thought it was like a big catastrophe there. And I was looking everywhere what was happening. Because glaciers always break from the bottom in the sea. And then you see them cracking. So the next day I saw the whole disaster which had happened. So this is how you can see it actually happening, and I don't know what is going to become. We have already started sensing everything now by having these abnormal rainfalls, increasing of the sea levels. Lakshadweep Islands are going down, Kerala is getting drowned, Bombay is coming under waters, Bandra is under a disaster, we are cutting the mangroves, we are, all the buffer zones are being destroyed by humans. So there are lots of microorganisms, and the research which I did was all the microorganisms which are in different places. So I deal with hypersaline environments where humans find it very difficult to live. And the best environment which I work on is hypersaline environments or extremophilic environments. So I worked in the polar region, and when I assessed the effect of a climate change on the microorganisms, I just studied the effect of 4 degrees rise in temperature of the waters. And it was a real shock to me. However, after almost when my research was done, the best part was, so when you have an organism which lives at 0 degrees and you increase the temperature to 4 degrees, then what happens is there's a change in the activity. So all of you who have learned chemistry, you know that a rate of a reaction increases with a 10 degrees rise in temperature, always. So whenever this rate increases, I studied about the sulfate reduction. So there are bacteria which are anaerobic and play a lot of role in the carbon mineralization. So all the mineralization or the cycling of nutrients are done mostly by the organisms and microorganisms and the phytoplanktons. So they contribute a lot to this. And so when I did the experiments, I found out that the rate of the sulfate reducing activity increases by 50% when there is a 2 degrees rise in the temperature. So sometimes this is a disaster because carbon mineralization produces carbon dioxide. And that is one of the gases which is involved in global warming, right? It's a greenhouse gas. So how do we detoxify this? There are other organisms who would detoxify the effect of carbon dioxide and neutralize it. However, when the carbon dioxide is produced, the salinity decreases. And as the salinity decreases, the salinity of the water decreases because of the melting of the ice. And because of this, the carbon mineralization decreases. So the earth itself has a mode of detoxification. This is what I want to say. But when humans go above a certain limit, then it's impossible. So what we have to do is we have to be in our limits when we are using our fuels, when are using, even in the house, the students who are there, young students, how many of you close the lights of the classroom when you leave the classroom? That's nice. At least 4 hands came up. I'm happy about it. I mean, we have to save energy everywhere because 8 hours of your life you're in the university, you're in the college. So you have to treat that as your own home. We have to be sensitive to everything around us. And this is what I keep on telling my students every day. Because we have to be sensitive to everything around us which causes global warming if we want to save this planet. Now, since 1800, there's a 1 degree rise in temperature. Now they say in 2050, we'll have a 2.8 degrees centigrade rise in temperature, which is going to destroy our planet completely. And we can't reverse back into anything. So by 2030, the whole world has decided to reduce their emissions by half so that we can increase the temperature only to 1.5 degrees centigrade. 1.5 degrees higher is also a disaster. It's going to be very difficult for us. But this is what all the countries in the world have decided to do, and I think everyone should keep their promise, and we as individuals or citizens of this country all have the responsibility to take care of our planet. Okay? And I would just like to mention some microorganisms which have contributed to a lot to detoxifying the toxic things which we have done. One is Methyllococcus infernorum, And this is one of the organisms which uses 11 kilos of methane per year. You know, it detoxifies 11 kilos of methane per year. So 1 milligram of this organism. So there is Thiobacillus thiomargaritanamiensis, which is a giant bacteria which detoxifies the hydrogen sulfide in the environment. We have Acromatium oxaliferum, which detoxifies the hydrogen sulfide and converts the carbon dioxide to calcium carbonate. So these are organisms which contribute tremendously to global warming, and it would be a very beautiful piece of research if we want to detoxify our own environments around our living places and our universities and our colleges to make a nice biocontrol agent to detoxify these toxic environments around us. So this is a very beautiful piece of research. If you could take up individual organisms and increase the yield of detoxification, then that would be a big contribution to our country. So I would just like to finish by saying that microbes are the major players to detoxify all the toxic things which we have done in this world. And I think we should play a great role in saving these microorganisms by not dumping toxic things around them, so that at least they can play a major role, and we can play a major role by using them as a powerful weapon to clear the dirty things which human beings have done on this planet. Thank you very much.
That was a very heartful message by Professor Savita Kerkar. Can we have a round of applause for her? We now have an open discussion session. I request all the dignitaries to kindly take your place on the dais. And anybody who has questions, we will take few questions on any topic, climate change, or whatever was discussed today. Thank you. We are open to questions if anybody has any questions.
Come, sir, come. No, because students will be asking questions, na? So, okay. So, I'm very happy to say that we have the Deputy Director of the Department of Higher Education, Goa government with us here. And also we have the Assistant Director from the Department of Higher Education, Goa government. So if there is any question that pertains to them, maybe they can answer from there itself, sitting.
Send the microphone to them.
Yeah. So the floor is open, we don't have much time. If you have...
Yeah, there. Oh. I think we will hear, you can speak. It's a very good question. Who's answering?
What was his question?
What should I do when I go home?
So, great question. It's not you, everyone should ask ourselves. I think by asking that question, you got it right, right? And that is what one of the purposes of this meeting was, you know, as we said, engaging young minds. So one thing you must do is ask questions. That you asked one is very important. And by asking questions, we get answers, right? If we don't ask questions, we don't get answers. We get answers from various resources. You can ask that question to ChatGPT and you'll get an answer now. Put some right keywords, ask that question, you can get that answer now. We have Google Baba, we have, your teachers, mentors, parents, everyone. But for me, first thing is that you should keep asking questions. Keep doing some research on the areas that has been mentioned to you today. A lot of information has been given in this small time, right? Keep that in mind. Keep the state of Goa, I would say your native place where you belong to in mind, state of Goa in mind, the country in mind, and the world at large in mind, and ask that what am I doing which is causing harm to the planet, right? Professor Savita has already mentioned about that. I wanted to talk about that. And it's not only you, we all have to do that. She asks, do you turn the lights off when you leave the class or you leave your home? I am sure many of you had a room for yourself in the house. Do you turn the lights off, turn the fan off, turn the ACs off, which are the worst? And I was going to tell someone here, the AC here is turned on too much. It's an institute responsibility. AC should be turned down a bit. A little bit of warmth is fine. So do you do all that? Like in monsoon, the AC is not required. By principle, I turn off the AC in monsoon. I don't use it at all, So do you do that? Do you, for example, segregate waste at home, Or if your parents don't do it, ask that question. You have to raise your voice. Not raise your voice, I don't mean you fight and do what you would love to do as the young generation, but raise concerns. Ask them nicely that what are we doing? Are we doing the right thing? So ask the questions to your friends. To your galat kar raha hai, you tell them that this is not what you should do. So do you segregate waste? Do you follow all the good practices? For example, if you are driving a car, do you stop at the red light, or do you make minimal use of car? For example, in BITS Pilani, we don't allow any kind of vehicles, even bicycles to students. Orientation is coming up. Parents ask us a lot, but we want everyone to walk. So think how much you walk and how much you can walk and how much you should walk. Plastic, don't use plastics. So you have seen deliberately there's no plastic here. I'm very happy about that. And as an institute, we are trying to do that. Not to use plastic. Bring your own bottle with you when you come here, or you're going to college or going anywhere else. Say that I say no to plastics. Those are the things you have to start doing. Paper, how much paper do you? If you don't need to print something, don't print it. If you have printed something, how much of it have you used it? For example, if you have printed only on one page, use the other side, right? Keep it. You come to my office, I'll show you. I store all papers, with blanks on the blank side. Use it before throwing, and minimal use. If you don't have to print anything, don't print. And you see that disclaimer comes in emails now. So follow all these practices and don't litter, right? We have a very difficult time on BITS Pilani, behind hostels is all littered, right? Don't litter, so that is very important too. You have Goa beaches, and many of those beaches are not very clean because we dump things in there. If you see anything on the floor, do you pick it up, right? You have to make a practice of it on your own home, your own surrounding, own institute, everywhere else. And don't dump anything in water. You'll have a Coca-Cola and dump that can in the bottle. Do you do that or not? These are the questions you can ask. And as already has been said, we want foot soldiers. We want some of you at least, to have that passion. You saw the kind of passion she had when she saw the situation there, right? She was crying, she was in tears. Can you do that for the country? Do you feel that, it's very important. Do some literature search, read. As I keep saying, you have to be voracious, readers. You have to read a lot to learn, more about the environment and weather, and discipline, staying disciplines. Tobacco has been talked about. How many of you take tobacco? You won't raise that hand now, but can you give up on that? That's killing. How much of combustion that has already been talked about that you can prevent. How much of consumption can you buy less? Don't buy, and you have to recycle. That's very important, right? Reuse, recycle, refurbish, repair, which is very important. Are you going to do that? We are trying it on our campus. We want everyone to do that. So those are the things, very small ways. We are not saying that everybody becomes a Greta Thunberg. If we have one in this room, for example, or one in this country, it will change things. And we want some of you to be crusaders in that direction. But if everyone contributes a little, as a country, we will do wonders, and you can show the world what we can do. We are already taking the right steps, you have heard, in that direction. So this is what is the message that I want to leave to you. Please give your best. Ask the question, am I doing the right thing? That's very important. So while you're going home, you've reached home, do that. Thank you. Sorry for the long answer.
I would just add one sentence to that. Now, the objective of this endeavor is to put climate communication in place. Please remember that. And by climate communication, we mean how to make the facts penetrate the hearts and your minds. See, and regarding the exhortation of the director, I would say what Mahatma Gandhi has said in one context. All of us have the dirty habit of calling the world a dirty place to live in without we cleaning our own houses. If each person cleans his own house, the whole world will be clean in no time. Without cleaning our house, we wait for others to come and clean, and hence the tragedy. Therefore, become a foot soldier, start at an incremental level in small doses, and you will have nature's ambience at its best. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. We can take one more question if anybody has any questions.
Girls, question? We look forward to you to run the country and help us.
Yes, Aritra.
I just wanted to ask, with the wheat and rice ban exported from India, how the future looks for the food insecurity or security of India?
Food security.
With the exports banned from India for rice and wheat, what is the food security scenario for India?
You want to take, sir?
Food security, yeah?
Food security, food. Yeah, there is, see, this export ban which we are talking right now, especially export of, pardon?
Rice and wheat.
Not all varieties of rice and all varieties of wheat have not been banned. Except basmati, others are banned. Basmati is still in very high demand. But we should not go by only these decisions. We are, very fortunately, we are one of those very few countries, rather we are probably the only country which is food surplus as of now. Whereas other countries are facing food problems, we are the only country which is food surplus. And our food habits are also changing. Crop patterns are changing. Of course, these have got different, it's a very difficult subject and very vast subject to go into. But a short answer for your question would be that these kinds of exports are minor policy interventions. They do not have a lasting effect as far as food security is concerned. A. B. Sometimes these policy interventions are part of ensuring food security. So both ways, it is a positive way of looking at things. But this may change after some time when we are in a position to export. When we have surplus, then we will probably change the rules and regulations. But it has other geopolitical implications also, which I won't go into detail as of now.
Yeah, I think we must trust our country or government on that. I think these are all interventions to only help to augment the process. You see, it is said that when the wind is strong, the tree has to bow, to protect itself, and then the time that is gone, it will be fine. So I think these are temporary measures which may help, and I'm sure there are deeper thoughts into it. You may yourself do some research on that. That's why you have to ask questions and do some research on it. You'll come to know and help others with it, right? So, and as she has pointed out, some experiments on microbes, so when I was sitting there, I was thinking that microbes, mangroves, or mangoes. So it's very important to save the plant, and we need to think in those directions. But good question.
One more question.
And
Good evening, sir. Since I'm from a military family, so I am more interested in asking a military question. Recently, India created Air Force plane, which is Tejas Mark II, and they use self-sustainable oxygen tanks for that plane. So, looking at that, is there a possibility that in future we could replace the current resources used in military expenditure with 100% sustainable energy?
Aviation fuel, she's talking about.
Sustainable aviation.
Now, there are two aspects of this one question. One is, of course, use of oxygen cylinders. Any such aircraft, even an ordinary aircraft, the communication aircraft which we travel, has oxygen. So if you see, if they would announce, like when the pressure falls, the oxygen instrument will fall down. You pull it and fix yourself the mask, oxygen mask. These instructions they give. So they have to carry that amount of oxygen, which is valid, which is good for about 9 to 10 minutes. 9 to 10 minutes is sufficient time for the plane to land at the nearest airport. So I won't go into those details. But military aircrafts, especially fighter aircrafts, use a different system. They don't have a mask, they have an oxygen cylinder. Very incidentally, it has to withstand a very high pressure, because when you are at 35,000 feet, that oxygen cylinder itself can explode because of the pressure outside. So that you have to see, and then the surface of the whole thing is different. There are only 3 companies in India, incidentally, which manufacture that cylinder, and there is an Italian company which manufactures the cylinder and sends it to Indian Air Force, and very incidentally, that is tested by an Indian company. The test certificate given by an Indian company is valid internationally. That is a standard, technological standard which we have done. So those who are doing material management, especially engineering, material science, should really fine-tune this aspect of engineering. But as far as use of any other item is concerned, it's not possible. So oxygen cylinders are used for the well-being of the pilot who needs it. So that has nothing to do with the aircraft fuel. But as far as ATF is concerned, then it's a different question. Can we have a different fuel for aircraft? is a very difficult question to answer as of now. As of now, there is no alternative. There can be an alternative for a vehicular fuel in India. And very incidentally, we should also remember one thing, that electric vehicles are not the solution. They are not the final solution. Their lifetime is only 7 years. After that, when you throw that lithium battery, it creates more havoc than using the fossil fuel. So that's going to be a very major problem. Maybe after 5 years, 10 years, we will face that problem. So that is not a final solution. Hydrogen, there are a lot of experiments that are taking place all over the world as far as hydrogen is concerned. And India has also established a very good group of scientists who are working on this. So hydrogen could be probably the next fuel, which will be much safer and less taxing as far as the environment is concerned. But as far as aviation fuel is concerned, ATF is concerned, as of now, there is no solution. But in the meantime, we could probably think of something else. But there are other systems of reducing carbon emission as far as the flight is concerned. And one way of doing it is to charge the airlines for the carbon emission that they create in the atmosphere. That is happening in a lot of worlds. Even in our country, if you see the aircraft details, they will say that this aircraft is doing this, and every passenger, the total carbon emission is calculated by the number of seats that the aircraft has, and every passenger is responsible for that much of carbon emission, which he has to pay for. That is calculated as part of the aircraft fare that you pay. Of course, it doesn't come separately like GST, it is not printed. But and if you go into the analysis of the fare, it is included. In some countries, they include that also. India, we don't do it, but we know about it.
Thank you so much, sir. We would now like to begin with our valedictory function to the winners of quiz competition. We will distribute mementos to all the students who correctly answered today during the quiz round. I request Dr. Chari to hand over some of the mementos. As I take the name of the student, I request you to come on the stage and collect the memento. Gracie Fernandez. Radhika Dhuri. Sachi Kale. Sharif Hulur. Samruddhi Vaigankar. Bernice Vegas. Chelsea Dias. Rizma Fernandez. Sukda Prabhugaonkar. Thank you, Dr. Suman Kundu. I request Professor Venkat Rao to give away the winners. Kanti Sawant, Muskan Sheikh. All of them are women. Muskan Sheikh.
One exception.
Sia Dilip Verinkar. Clint Fernandez. Aditi Sarkar. Dhanraj. Siddhali Mahale. Yes. Chloe Furtado. Joy Tavares. Khushi Prabhudesai. Shubham Kharwat. विभा उपाध्याय. नेहा हरिजन. पल्लवी हेगड़े. सोनू कुमार जायसवाल. कृतिक वर्दीकार. तन्वी परब. इलेन अराउजो. श्रावणी कुंद्री. मिनोशका डिनीस. She's coming. Minoshka Denise. Urvi Kurtarkar. I know, sir. Thank you for all the students, winners, and all the dignitaries. My time with you ends here today. Before ending the meeting, I request Professor Kundu to present vote of thanks to our students, guests, and dignitaries.
I thought Rajiv you would do that, you know. But anyway, I think anything, whatever good comes to an end. I think a wonderful afternoon has come to an end. As everyone has pointed here, this should not be a temporary event that we forget. It should have an everlasting impact on your minds. Please remember the day, please remember the lessons and take them forward. I would like to thank RIS for being a part of this. It's wonderful to have you with us, and this association worked very well. So, sir, I would like to thank you. That was such an impactful speech. You know, we don't get to hear many of them these days. And I think we all have learned so much, you know. Thank Ali for being with us, you know. And wonderful to see your smiling face in the front seat and enthusiastically participating in the quiz competition. You know, thank you, Professor Rao, for being with us and sharing your wisdom and your witty comments. It's very encouraging for all of us, and sure we'll work together. BITS Pilani does work together, and we will find ways to associate and collaborate. Thank you, ma'am, Professor Sarkar, for your emotional speech that I am sure will awaken and arouse many of the young minds here to do something for climate, for Goa, and the cell phones are also to add to everything, you know. But thank you, ma'am, for being with us today, sparing your valuable time and sharing your comments. I must thank the quiz masters, you know, they've done a wonderful job. You know, so good to see you with so much enthusiasm, and Rajiv as well, of course, very much here. And thank you. Sorry, I forgot to ask your name. Thank you for anchoring the session. Huh? Shivani. Thank you, Shivani, for anchoring the session, and you are smiling all throughout. That's wonderful. That's very important. Thanks to everyone at BITS Pilani, our wonderful audiovisual team, who are busy, I think, almost every day with some event or other, and they put in a lot of hard work, a lot of hard time. The entire administration is here. Minal Kaushik, Dean Administration is here. Head of HSS is here. I can see all our colleagues, Professor Pradhan, and many of them. Sarana is also here. Thanks all the Directorate of Higher Education, you silently sat there. Hope you could participate as well. Thank you for being with us, and we are also taking up some projects together. I think we had a team visiting, and we will be working together as well. All the teachers from colleges, I know you have been silently participated and supported us. Thank you very much for being with us. And all the students, I think another round of applause for our young minds. I think you have done exceptionally well. You have handled the quiz very well, and some of the answers, and Rajiv was so enthusiastic. accurate, precise. You are right, dot on the answer. It was that, that level of correctness, precision you had in your answers. Wonderful. And everyone at BITS who are here, I think Arjun is sitting, Samir is sitting there, and everyone in this room. Hope I have not missed anyone. And I should also thank myself for being a part of this. Sparing the entire day here. I know there are at least 100 emails sitting in my mailbox, and which will take away 4 hours of my sleep time. But anyway, everything for climate, everything for the country, everything for the state of Goa, anything that we can do is what we must do. And I think it is a war cry, it has been said. It's a clarion call to all young minds. We have done enough damage. We agree that, at least we acknowledge that. And we are ready to, with your help, to change things around and make the world a better place to live in. I'm only worried about the greed that ma'am has pointed out. Is very important. We have to be less greedy as we are, because I am worried about, we all talk about technology, but we have to use it very nicely, because I am worried we have destroyed the earth, but I think in few years' time we are going to destroy the moon or Mars as well, and that's I am worried about quite a bit. I don't see all these missions, going well, because as you know, humans with the brilliant minds that we have, and I don't know what nature has produced, and I think we are looking to colonize moon and Mars and destroy those environments as well. So we have to be very careful with what we are doing, and hopefully we have all learned our lessons, and we will take appropriate actions. Thank you very much. Wish you a good evening, a week ahead, and a year, ahead. Hope the rains will stop now, and whatever is required should happen, but not overdo. Of course, we are responsible for that. Otherwise, we have to take care of it as well. Thank you very much. Thank you for your patience hearing.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being an interactive audience. I request all the students to proceed to the DMS for high tea, and also please collect your participation certificate from the registration counter. And if there are any changes in your name, spelling or anything, kindly inform at the registration counter. And I request all the dignitaries to proceed outside DLT 9 for high tea. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
India, home of 1.3 billion people, is a confluence of religions, traditions, and customs. A thriving global center of technology and the world's largest democracy. As one of the oldest civilizations in the world, with a rich cultural heritage and diversity, and as the 5th largest economy in the world, India is proud to assume the presidency of G20. As the country blooms into a new era, we look to another poignant symbol for humanity to emerge victorious from its challenges. Lotus, the national flower of India, representing our culture, history, and heritage. A poignant symbol for humanity to emerge victorious from its challenges. And the inspiration for India's G20 logo design. The design, rendered in saffron, white, green, and blue, is drawn from the national flag of India. The 7 petals in the logo signify the 7 seas and the coming together of 7 continents at G20 India 2023. Sitting above the lotus is a representation of the earth, reflecting India's pro-planet approach to life and seeing the world as one family. From this, we derive the theme for G20 India 2023, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one earth, one family, one future. A theme that brings the G20's focus on shared global growth, while being in harmony with nature. G20 India 2023. One earth, one family, one future.
Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.